मैं तो सिर्फ एक चौथी फेल आम आदमी हूँ जिसकी एक बीवी है और दो बेटियां।
But then there comes a story, a real life story, which makes you go wow, which I had never heard, and say wow, this is cinematic. Like my next film is Maidan with Ajay Devgan, and which is Boney Kapoor is producing, and Akash Chawla is producing, and Amit Sharma जिन्होंने बधाई हो डायरेक्ट करी है वो डायरेक्ट कर रहे हैं. I'm a football lover. I know a lot about the sport, but when I got to know about Syed Abdul Rahim, the Indian coach who led India to the Asian Games victory in 1961, beating teams like Japan, Thailand, Korea, and Vietnam, who are Asian powerhouses right now. We, under him, came fourth in the Olympics. Under him, we almost beat teams like France and Hungary. I didn't know that story, and when I heard that story, like, first of all, I berated myself that how did I not know this story? And then when I got to research the film, I was like, I'm glad that the producers called me to write this film. Because if someone else would have written it, I would have been jealous of that guy, that he got to write this film and not me. Then I am doing the Bindra biopic for Anil Kapoor's production house, which Harsh is playing Abhinav Bindra. And
who is playing Abhinav Bindra? Sorry?
Harshvardhan Kapoor is playing Abhinav Bindra.
Right.
And when Anil Kapoor called me to meet him in the office, he asked me, "Tumhara problem kya hai?" I said, "Sir, मेरा क्या problem है? मतलब तुमने 3 बायोपिक्स क्या लिख दिया, तुम बोलोगे कि चौथा और पांचवा नहीं लिखोगे, चौथा नहीं लिखोगे? अरे तुमको तुम्हारे काम के लिए सराहा जा रहा है, तुमको तुम्हारे काम के लिए डिमांड मिल रहा है, तुम क्यों नहीं कर रहे हो?" मतलब सर मैंने because I don't want to write another biopic is not why I didn't want to do Bindra biopic. तो फिर ये भी करो. अच्छा मेरा चौथा फिल्म भी सिर्फ बायोपिक ही है, आपके भाई के साथ ही कर रहा हूँ, बोनी जी के साथ. तो पांचवा भी करो. कहानी इंटरेस्टिंग है, कहानी इंटरेस्टिंग होनी चाहिए. बायोपिक नॉन बायोपिक मत देखो. मैंने बोला सर, more than happy to read the material. I read the material. The director Hiraz Marfatia came on board and told me how he's looking at making this film, and I'm like, this is again going to be something really, really, really exciting, because people know Abhinav Bindra as he's the only gold medal winner, Olympic gold medal winner in India's Olympic history. In a not so glamorous sport of shooting. There is that baggage. Oh, Abhinav Bindra is coming from privilege. उसके बाप ने खुद के लिए उसके लिए रेंज बना लिया. तो अरे हर अमीर आदमी का बेटा ओलंपिक मेडल तो नहीं जीत सकता ना.
नहीं जीत सकता.
मेहनत तो उतनी करनी पड़ती है.
बिल्कुल.
शायद ज्यादा करनी पड़ती है, because he has to subdue his privilege also. And those angles, and so they motivate me, they inspire me, they make me see that I cannot let go of this story. So biopic, non-biopic, I don't look at it that way. I look at it in terms of a story that motivates me. It's a story that I want to see. And those are the stories that I'm a part of. I'm doing a non-fiction, I'm doing a fiction film completely out and out with Ram Madhwani, who directed Nisja. We are working on a dance film, and it's not based on any real life person, but it's completely created. I worked on a children's film called Nanne Einsteins, which is, we're looking how to get a OTT platform or whatever. It's completely fictional, created. I loved the story that the director got to me, Swaroop. I loved the innocence in that story, and I said, let's do it. तो स्टोरी में दम होना चाहिए, चाहे वो रियल लाइफ पे हो या कंप्लीट फिक्शनल हो. बट मुझे मजा आना चाहिए जब मैं पहली बार सुनता हूँ उस कहानी को. देन आई नो दैट कि वो मजा बरकरार रहेगा जब तक मैं वो स्क्रिप्ट नहीं लिखूंगा पूरी तरह, और फिर वो मजा ट्रांसफर हो जाता है व्हेन वी आर शूटिंग दैट फिल्म.
क्या करते हो? एक आइसक्रीम नहीं दिलवा सकते?
आइसक्रीम तो मार्टिन के यहाँ भी मिलती है. पंजी का क्या स्पेशल है?
देखिए, हम जब पैदा हुए थे तो डॉक्टर पहली नजर में बोल दिए थे, आपके घर में सेंटर फॉरवर्ड पैदा हुआ है.
Hello everyone, this is Mukbil Ahmer and you are watching Bollywood Cineplex. As always, we have a very special guest today, who is none other than famous and well-known film writer Saivin Quadras. Saivin को किसी भी introduction की जरूरत नहीं. He is the famous writer of blockbuster movies such as Mary Kom and Neerja. उनकी films को काफी rave reviews मिले हैं. Welcome to this program, Saivin. I hope you are safe.
Yes, safe and sound in Delhi right now. With a little bit of good news coming that the lockdowns are opening up, but still not sure how safe it is out there. But I'm safe indoors. I'm hoping you are safe indoors as well.
True. Thank you so much for your wishes. Yes, we are safe. So far, so good. So, Saivin, the first thing that comes to everybody's minds these days, कि how is the lockdown treating you? क्या चल रहा है?
Lockdown is it's a mixed bag. As a writer, तो हमेशा से ही quarantined ही रहे हम, या self isolation कहिए या lockdown कहिए. तो ऐसे ज्यादा कोई changes personally तो नहीं हुए, but of course जो दुनिया के साथ हो रहा है, दुनिया में हो रहा है, वो आपको कहीं अफेक्ट कर जाता है, तो आपके काम में भी अफेक्ट कर जाता है, आपके एबिलिटी टू राइट, एबिलिटी टू थिंक पे अफेक्ट कर जाता है. तो इट हैज बीन अ मिक्स्ड बैग, बट अगेन आई एम लकी दैट आई एम सेफ. आई हैव अ रूफ ओवर माय हेड, एंड unlike what we are hearing and seeing from out there in the world, so it affects you a little bit, if not more, but work is on, writing is going on, the people from the industry are optimistic that once this is over, we will get down to shooting, we will get down to making stories, we will get down to making entertainment, because as difficult as this time seems, we realize the importance of giving people that something to escape from the reality around us.
वैसे मुझे लगता है कि the entertainment breed is an optimistic breed in itself. वो लोग हमेशा ही optimistic रहते हैं.
एंटरटेनमेंट और आर्ट का तो वही रहा है ना कि बुरे वक्त में भी ज्यादा इंस्पिरेशनल चीजें बाहर निकलती है, because probably the writers and the creators feel the need to tell more stories that will not necessarily only entertain but also inspire, also make people look at things positively, also tell that there is hope at the end of this darkness. तो as a writer, मुझे तो हमेशा से लगता है कि that is our primary aim. एंटरटेनमेंट के साथ साथ कुछ सोचने लायक भी दे दो.
करेक्ट. आपको तो देख के लग रहा है कि आप एंजॉय कर रहे हैं जबरदस्त एक बंगले में बैठ करके.
ये कोविड ने तो एक चीज और भी मेरा जो थॉट है वो और पक्का कर दिया है कि भाई जितना भी आदमी प्लान कर ले, जितनी आगे की सोचे, वो मेरे ख्याल से वो हमारे हाथों में है नहीं. हमारे पास यही वक्त है, यही मोमेंट है. उसको जियो ठीक से, उसका आनंद लो ठीक से, एंड लिव फ्रॉम वन मोमेंट टू द अदर
विदाउट
वरिंग. प्लानिंग चलो वो तो शायद करना ही पड़ेगा, बट विदाउट वरिंग टू मच अबाउट द फ्यूचर. क्योंकि प्लानिंग और वरिंग को हमने एक ही मतलब दे दिया है.
So, Saivin,
जब हम फ्यूचर की सोचते हैं तो हम वरी करते हैं.
Correct. So, Saivin, how do you assess the impact फिल्म और टीवी इंडस्ट्री पे क्या आपको लगता है इम्पैक्ट हुआ है इस लॉकडाउन का?
जब लॉकडाउन शुरू हुआ था तो तभी ऐसा लग रहा था कि कभी शूटिंग होगा ही नहीं लाइफ में. the situation was seeming so bleak. It seemed like coronavirus is going to come and kill people, kill the world. तो कहाँ शूटिंग होगी भाई, कहाँ 100 लोगों का सेट होगा या यूनिट होगी? But now with things seemingly coming under control, or at least that's what we're getting to hear. I mean, there are cases happening, but at the same time, there are more recoveries happening. The economy has to open at some point. People have to go to work at some point. You can't be locked down forever.
Correct.
So the industry also is coming up with its own rules to make the shooting environment safe. हम तो एज राइटर्स चलो क्या है, घर पे बैठ के काम करते तो जूम पे भी काम हो जाता है या हैंगआउट पे काम हो जाएगा, मीटिंग्स हो जाएंगी. बट यू हैव टू फिजिकली शूट, एंड व्हेन यू फिजिकली शूट यू हैव at least 20-25 people on the smallest of sets. So there are protocols being made by the guild and the producers association, and I am hoping that we become more responsible when we are on set.
Right. So Saivin, Saivin, so shifting gears a little, थोड़ा आप अपने निजी जर्नी के बारे में कुछ शेयर करें. कैसा रहा? हाउ वाज द राइड?
The ride is continuing. It's not a was, because the journey has been pretty interesting when I put it in hindsight. But it has been lots of downs and then a few ups. Of course, coming from a broken family, not financially secure, not being able to complete my education, not sure what my future holds. All those thoughts were there when you're growing up. But I guess it's my very past that has made me who I am today. It's probably because I had all these thoughts and I could probably introspect a little bit more of the situation I was in. Probably gave me the ability to escape my reality by creating stories in my own head. Like it's a self-defense mechanism that I created for myself, or automatically ho gaya. And the past led me to that self-defense mechanism, and I began enjoying creating those stories in my head. And I think now I'm one of the lucky few who gets to do what he loves to do the most, is create these stories and make it a profession, and be able to take care of myself and my family members by making some money out of it.
So was it a conscious decision? मतलब आपने सोच समझ के कोई फैसला किया, या अचानक कुछ ऐसा हुआ कि आप फिल्म राइटिंग की तरफ आपका रुझान हो गया?
कभी-कभी लोग कहते हैं कि life is a string of coincidences, and some people say that in life there are no coincidences. So believe what you will, but if my childhood made me get into my own headspace and create stories and write poems and write short stories. I was also involved in playing the keyboard, taking part in the choir, was a singer, taking part in dramatics. And so I knew that I wanted to do something in the media, but I didn't know what. And then somehow the best way seemed to be doing a course in event management, because I was not even a graduate, and I'm not a graduate even now. So I just did my 12th standard, and after that I saw this ad for before that I even did a course called fire engineering, diploma in fire engineering.
Achha.
Because I thought that probably that's a job that I will get somewhere in the Gulf, or be a safety officer in some rig or something like that. And once I finished the course, I realized that that's not the life I want. Then I did event management, and through that I got to work with a company called Opus Planet, which was owned by Umang Kumar, the then art director, now director. And when I was, again, it's coincidental that my friend got the interview call from Opus Planet. She told me to come with her. I went with her. I got the job. She didn't.
Oh,
And Umang was my first boss. And then when I was working there, I took my best friend, Karan Grover, to get the job as well. And he also got a job there. And we used to travel every day from Mira Road to Sakinaka, Andheri East. And Karan then went on to become a Glad Rags mega model and Manhunt contestant. And then he became a VJ with Z Music. And then he became a star with Star Plus on a show called Sathi.
mhm.
And he was performing on Star Parivar Awards, which was a set built by Umang. I had left Umang 3 years before that. And Karan and Umang chatted up, and Karan called me and said, I'm with Umang. And I was just talking to Umang, and Umang said, what are you doing? I said, I'm writing, but I want to write films. And Umang said, come, I'm planning to turn director. And I went to Umang, and Umang said, come, let's work on scripts. And we worked on few scripts. But no one was giving Umang a chance because they were all male hero-centric films.
Mm.
And I quit Umang and I joined Balaji in the non-fiction division for 6 months. But Umang's office was just 5 minutes away. So I used to go every lunch break, go to Umang's office, sit, discuss how to go, what to do. So then he came up, he discussed, we said, okay, let's do something on with a woman hero. Because actresses are probably more keen to work with first-time directors who come to them with author-backed roles. And then I came up with the idea of the story of Mary Kom. And I told Umang about it. Umang didn't know who Mary Kom was, but when he got to know of her story, he said, this is exciting. And June 2011, I started working on that story, researching and working on a film. And then 1 year, we didn't have a producer. And again, you can call it luck, coincidence. There was no women's boxing in Olympics till that year, till 2012 London Olympics.
Right.
Mary Kom had to increase her weight category
Oh,
to take part in the Olympics because her weight category was not even there.
acha.
She took part. She lost in the qualifying round, but she lost to the eventual winner of that qualifying round. And so she was the lucky loser to take part in the Olympics. She took part in the Olympics and she won the bronze. I started working on Mary Kom in 2011 June. 1 year we didn't have a producer. 2012 August, when London Olympics, when the day Mary Kom won the bronze, we had 3 producers
Wow.
on the day. And coincidence, destiny, what do you want to call it? Umang had already worked with Sanjay Leela Bansali as a set designer and production designer on Sawariya Black. And Sanjay said that I want to produce this film. And Umang decided to go with Sanjay. So you can see the pattern of
Yes.
coincidences, but they are not coincidences. They are part of a consequence of a certain action.
Correct.
And that's where then we got Sanjay on board as a producer. Then when Sanjay came on board, a lot more doors opened up. Priyanka Chopra came in to play Mary Kom. 2014, I guess, the film released.
Right.
And September 2004, the film released well, a great opening, and that's how my journey kind of officially began, that I had a great film to my name. Then of course it won a lot of awards. It won the national award, and yeah, so that's how the journey began. It's a lot of moving parts that played their part, along with the desire to persevere. And when I decided to be a film writer, I stuck to it. There were a lot of downs that time as well, but somehow when the stars are smiling at you, then they completely open up their doors.
आई वुड से कि आप बहुत ही खुशकिस्मत रहे हैं
हाँ
कि
मतलब
बहुत सारी चीजें एक
उसमें
साथ
कोई
ऐसी
दो राय
हुई।
नहीं, हाँ दो राय बिल्कुल नहीं है, खुशकिस्मत तो हूँ ही। अपने हार्डवर्क और परसिवियरेंस को भी क्रेडिट दूंगा, बट एट द सेम टाइम what is luck is 100% dedication and 10% 100% hard work, and then 5-10%
10%
of that magic dust that you call destiny.
True.
And yeah,
So, Saivin, you have experimented with both TV and films. So, what
Right.
difference? मतलब आपको क्या ये फर्क नजर आया टीवी के लिए लिखने में या फिल्म के लिए लिखने में?
देखिए मैंने टीवी में कभी फिक्शन नहीं किया आउट ऑफ चॉइस.
अच्छा.
I was always a non-fiction writer because fiction at that time in television wasn't interesting at all. It was the age of daily soaps, and I don't think I was cut out for that. So गुजारा हो जाता था by doing non-fiction. तभी काफी सारी channels थी जो non-fiction programming भी करती थी. There were a lot of these magazine shows, these tabloid shows, these film shows, which didn't necessarily need too much of using of the mind. It was more to do with research and picking up articles about entertainment and page 3 kind of thing, and then giving it your own spin and make it interesting for the VJs to speak on camera. So I wouldn't call it necessarily television writing, but the focus always was films. And there, of course, I watched a lot of movies, read every script that I could get my hands on. And the more I read, the more I realized that, yes, I can also do this. How good or bad, I didn't know. But I thought that, yeah, I can do this.
You are certainly very good at it. आपको इतने सारे अवार्ड्स मिले हैं.
मतलब कभी डर लगता है कि मेरा फ्रॉड पकड़ा जाएगा. तीन फिल्में करी हैं, मैरी कॉम, नीरजा, परमाणु. All 3 films have been appreciated.
Correct.
For its writing, apart from the performances and all those things. For me, the greatest victory is that when films like Mary Kom, Neerja and Parmanu work at the box office, then I know that I can keep doing the kind of scripts that I want to do. And, there is place for all kind of cinema. But I know the kind of stories that I want to say. And I'm lucky that those films have worked so that the offers keep coming and I have the choice of subjects that I want to do rather than picking up something that because you have no choice but only that project.
Correct. नहीं तो what I would say is कि आपको तो मतलब you have got so much rave reviews and acclaim कि अब शक का तो कोई मुझे चांस ही नहीं लगता, कोई गुंजाइश ही नहीं है शक की. लेकिन एक चीज पूछना चाहूंगा साइविन कि आपने ज्यादातर जो फिल्में लिखी दे ऑल इंस्पायर्ड बाय रियल लाइफ एंड लाइफ इंसिडेंट्स, तो मतलब ये एक कॉन्शियस डिसीजन है या आप कुछ कंप्लीटली फिक्शनल भी करना चाहते हैं, कैसा है, या डू यू वांट टू स्टिक टू दिस?
See, the thing is, first of all, I never thought that real life stories is my genre. जब मैंने मेरी पहली स्क्रिप्ट लिखी थी sometime in 2001, that was an action treasure hunt adventures film. Because I used to love Indiana Jones and National Treasure are my favorite films. And that is the first script I wrote. My second script I wrote was a psycho horror thriller.
My God.
Because I was inspired by The Sixth Sense and The Shining and the films like that. But so I never thought that biopics is my genre as such. But growing up the way I did, I used to read a lot, right? So a lot of books that I read were inspirational stories of people who have come through nothing or come through a lot of obstacles that they faced in life. And somewhere inherently, probably I could possibly spin a real life story to make it or for it to fit in a cinematic zone. So it was never intentional. Obviously, Mary Kom and Neerja were both stories that when I read about them stuck to my head, because I read about Mary Kom when I was in college. Her articles used to come in some small corner in the sports section because boxing was never popular. Neerja's story had come once in a while, but it stuck in my head because what they did were real people who did extraordinary things.
Correct.
And when an ordinary person does extraordinary things, gives you the hope and inspiration that you are also an ordinary person, but you are also capable of doing extraordinary things. So it kind of motivates you. And those are the kind of stories I want to say which have something or which give people something to think about. So Mary Kom, Neerja were biopics. Parmanu is inspired by true life incident, but the rest of the story is in a way fictional. So as a writer, I obviously would be foolish if I limit myself.
Correct.
It's like saying कि अगर आप एक शेफ हो और आप बोल दो कि नहीं मैं सिर्फ चाइनीज बनाऊंगा, तो आप शेफ कैसे हो? मतलब आपकी एक स्पेशलिटी होगी, लेकिन आपको बनाना तो सारा कुछ ही आएगा.
करेक्ट. बिल्कुल.
और एज एन आर्टिस्ट या एज अ राइटर, अगर आप कहोगे कि माइकल जैक्सन सिर्फ पॉप सॉन्ग्स लिखता है या बैलेड्स नहीं लिखता या और कुछ नहीं गा सकता, तो वो तो गलत ही हुआ. तो आप आर्टिस्ट कैसे हुए? तो एज अ राइटर आई ऑब्वियसली डोंट लिमिट माय सेल्फ. द अपॉर्चुनिटीज दैट कम माय वे आर ऑब्वियसली, इंडस्ट्री में क्या हो जाता है कि आप बहुत जल्दी ब्रैकेट हो जाते हो. आपका एक हैशटैग लग जाता है, हाँ, टाइप का सर कि बायोपिक स्पेशलिस्ट. तो मैंने तो मतलब नीरजा के बाद तो कई सारी बायोपिक्स को ना बोला है.
अच्छा.
Because not every biopic is makes for a good film. A biopic should have a sense of inherent graph of greatness for it to be cinematically great. As a life story, their stories are great, but will it translate into something cinematic? I'm not too sure. So I've said no. I've said no to biopics just because I didn't want to write any more biopics.